Welcome to SK1 News, final episode of season 6. So, I'm going to do a little something different on SK1 News. Um, I'm going to be sharing with y'all what I am working on. So, it's been a long season. I actually started this season a year ago. Matter of fact, a whole year ago. And we started in the month of January with SK1 News. Um, I'm sorry, y'all. This is a short season. I didn't even do a recap. Normally I do a recap when it comes to this side of the dang, but um, it's been a hectic time. A lot going on. So we are gonna start this year off on a fresh balance of things. And I just feel like I just want to share some stuff with y'all. I am working on the album and I'm back in the studio fully. Just not gonna stop me from still doing podcasts because podcasts is what I do. But um I gotta finish this album. So I did 4 tracks already. Full. And I'm only gonna use 2 out of the 4. Um I put the 2 that I'm gonna use over on TikTok to see the response of things. Um and I'm gonna explain both and I'm gonna give my reasons why I'm doing both and we gonna get into that. So first thing first, Happy New Year, everybody. This is my first time in a while on here, so you know, should have kicked it off with that. But yeah, and start of season 7. We'll be talking about season 7 in a second. But right now, I'm not bringing no regular news today. I may bring some stuff up about some regular news. We don't know yet. There's been a lot going on as far as this government shutdown stuff that happened a year ago and can eventually happen again. We talked about a lot of that stuff. We talked about what's going on with this whole thing with the illegal immigrants. We talked about a lot of stuff that's going on and that's happening. So we just gotta be prepared for what's coming up next. I will be tuning into that stuff soon as I come back with season 7. But right now, I just want to end this season. So the best way of ending this season is to share with y'all what I would have been sharing over on the SK1 show. The SK1 show is on hold right now. Yeah, it's on hold. Well, we will be, yeah, we'll be back. I can't tell y'all when we'll be back, but we'll be back. Um, but right now, as finishing up this one, 7 is on its way. As soon as I close this one out, 7 will be available soon. Real soon. No days off. We on that whole thing. No days off, so you'll start seeing me doing more podcast shows more than ever. We gonna get a lot podcasts and as long as there's news out there to talk about, we gonna talk about the news. So on today's episode, I am talking about Pain Hurts Deep. That's the name of the album. And like I said, I'm already 4 songs in, but I'm only going to use 2 of the songs that I already did, and I may change the instrumental on one of the songs. We'll figure that one out. So it's one that's called Boss Ones, and I put it on TikTok. Now the levels of response that I got from this song, I knew that it'll be a little up and down with it. I knew that a lot of other stuff that would be going on with it and stuff. So I was just like, all right, man, let me just go ahead because most artists put stuff out there and it degrades a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, during the time where as though I did this a long time ago. And this even before I became married. And those was the songs I used to make. Okay, fast forward into today's date. You know what I'm saying? '06 all the way up until now, 2026. I retired rapping in 2016, whereas though the last thing I did was the Game of Life Part 3. I did both of the Game of Life. Part 1, I did that in '06, and Part 2, I did that in '08. So now I'm over here on making it happen, and I'm working on some more music, and we doing Pain, Pain Hurts Deep. So this particular song right here, Boss Ones, is talking about a boss woman. And what I mean when I say boss woman, I mean a woman that's stand on business, on her game, really don't need a man for anything. You know what I'm saying? As far as what she do. You know what I'm saying? She holding it down like a queen while her man holding it down like a king. You know what I'm saying? So, they handling business together. You know what I mean? And they combining a lot of that with each other, respectfully and otherwise. And I look at it like this, what do a lot of people have to bring to the table now these days? You talk about sex, you talk about money, but is that the main reason why y'all are in this relationship going into this marriage? Because if you felt like that's the only thing you had to offer to somebody, then it's not really a thing looking into, because if we can't handle other parts of this, then why are we even together? So, Boss Ones came about because, in this day's time, don't nobody want nobody that ain't standing on business, doing what they supposed to do, coming correct with this, like level headed, level minded, like, this everything with it, and it's kind of crazy because when I made this song, I already know that the response from this is not gonna go as something that would get played on the radio like that, because the radio want to promote a lot of negative stuff some of the times. I'm not gonna say all the time. They will play music that people should hear, but what makes a hit? A hit makes when you making a hit, it's like you doing a song that's gonna have a catchy hook and all of this stuff like that. Cool, cool, cool. Back in the day, they did a lot of catchy hooks and stuff like that. We not about catching the hooks though. We about storytelling, and that's where music is failing at, because a lot of people not telling the original story, what's going on. Ain't nobody talking about day to day life. They want to talk about getting high, money, sex, and drugs, and all this other kind of stuff like that. But on the same time, I'm gonna continue on trying to bring the best music that I can. And Boss Ones did some excellent numbers over there on TikTok. The first week that it was on there, it's still pushing numbers as much as I see it pushing. But like I said, it wasn't my original beat. I brought this beat, and I looked at the response of the song as being a response of the song. So I know it was going to touch a certain amount of audience. So I'm not really concerned about, a lot of other things with this song, and I'm not expecting it to kick grounds what grounds gonna kick, and I'm expecting it to do just what I know it was gonna do. I'll be shocked if it do even more than what I think it's gonna do. So big up for me knowing a song called Boss Ones, and all the ladies out there, definitely, if you definitely a boss up, you know what I'm saying? Big up to y'all though, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? This song was respectfully, definitely for the ladies, you know what I mean? We not we not jumping on none of that other stuff, and that's what's up. All right, so now I sat down and somebody that I'm close to, you know what I'm saying? We talking and all and stuff like that. So um just sitting and thinking about it and stuff like that, like, what to do, what's up, what's next to do, what are we holding back on as far as going into the line of business, podcast, music and all, pushing the push, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you need a push, you know what I'm saying? And you don't need never lack on what you doing or what you set to do. So I'm sitting and I'm thinking about all the conversations and stuff like that. So I said, well, let me go and go back into me. You know what I'm saying? Let me do what I would have did in my live and direct days back in '05, '06 and stuff like that. Let me take it back to '06. No, not 30 years later. We 20 years later. And let me you know, go back to what I normally would do. So I get back in the beat making and cause like I said, I'm coming out of retirement. When I went into retirement, I didn't care to make a beat. I would just buy beats and stuff like that. It really didn't really matter to me because I wasn't doing this to be, doing it anymore. I was just like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna, make songs or whatever. And that's how I got prayer. I brought a beat, you know what I mean? And it was in my original. So I said, no, they need to hear me. And if I'm gonna do a song for somebody that I love, why not do what she wanted me to do anyway? You know what I'm saying? And why not come original with it? And I sat back and I started thinking like, all right, let me go ahead and get back in the studio and let me go and create a beat. And once I created the beat, I listened to it. Um, and I said, wow, this where we at with this. So I'm sitting, man, and I'm just thinking, and I was just like, all right. Now, no, I did a song called, matter of fact, this won't make the album because it was too emotional. You know what I'm saying? And the song was called "I Miss You So Much." That it was so emotional that you can hear and parts of that song in the second verse when I start talking about what happened. Maybe if I don't think about what I would there, I don't think I would have got too emotional. But when I got to that part, I talk about me seeing my wife laying there and stuff like that, it really like got to me. So, I got real emotional. Whereas though in the last verse, I couldn't give a whole fully verse to the song. I had to talk through the rest, but I was speaking my pain in that song. So I was just like, all right. And then it was in my original beat also. So, this was another broad beat. So I'm just like, all right. So when I did this one, it actually was organic from me. The way that I did it was like, wow, this is this right here is gonna be set for the way I know she would have wanted me to do it. So I didn't waste no time of doing this. And once I completed the song, and it's called with the album called Pain Hurts Deep. Once I completed this song, I instantly went to, start forming and working on like a video version of it. Not an actual video, but a video version of it where as though I could put it on TikTok. So I ain't do too much with the editing, but I edited enough. I've been cutting and chopping and stuff all day, definitely with the beat. So I'm just like, all right, this pretty cool. So I mixed it down with it, mixed it down so the sound could sound different from the original, and I test both of the sounds out, the original sound and then the mixed down sound. And it was just like, okay. Now I mastered the song. So once I mastered the song, I was just like, all right, let me go on, upload this on TikTok. So the first few hours, I won't even say the first few hours, it could have been, numbers was slightly slowly going up, right then and there. You're not gonna be able to see what you get. You gotta wait a little bit on the numbers and stuff, and they tell you about best performance within the next hour or so. After that though, it got up to 100 views on TikTok. So now I'm just looking like, whoa, okay, we already up to 100 views or whatever. So I'm just looking like, all right, yo, this is going on. Let me go ahead and do it over on YouTube. So once I put it on YouTube, the numbers just start going. But like I said, for anybody that plays anybody, whatever they doing, is we always ask as best as we watch it all the way through, and that's the problem over there on TikTok. A lot of people, they'll like your stuff, they'll watch it, but they don't watch it all the way through. You can see where they stop it at, so they don't really watch it all the way through. So that's cool. I knew I would get some of that. I tend to do that some of the times. I like somebody's stuff, and it'll be good and stuff like that. But sometimes I get caught up into, other things, whereas though I never completely finish the video while on something like that. So I won't complete it, You know what I'm saying? So, we all have habits of that, and, but still I like the video. And, I'm just watching all of this go. Both places got great responses, and at best, this ain't even been up a whole 2 days. You see what I'm saying? It ain't been up a whole 2 days, and we doing excellent numbers. So this was my original track. Like when you hear this song, I'm gonna play this song on this show today. This is my original beat, me. This is all of this is me. My production, all of this is me. You know what I'm saying? How I'm doing this podcast on my own right now. I'm talking about my song. It's just all of me. I brought nobody beat. You know what I'm saying? I stepped back into what I used to do years ago. So I will be back and I will play that song for y'all when I come back. See y'all when I come back. Welcome back to SK1 News. So like I said, we definitely doing something a little different over here today, but this the last episode of the season. This would have been done on the SK1 show, but unfortunately SK1 show is definitely on hold right now. We will resume and be back to season 2 of the SK1 show, and I get into the talks of that later. But by this being a big part of what I'm doing this year is a real big project. It's definitely a real big project. I will be working on more songs, and yes. So basically, what I'm doing with this is like I'm really like sharing with y'all my journey. You know what I'm saying? And this is a preview really of what's gonna go on the SK1 show. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be really sharing my journey, but by this the last episode over here, I'm just gonna share my journey over here as far as me going to do this whole year of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and how I'm gonna make things happen. As far as that go, I am building my team back. I will take it back to. I will have different artists. I will introduce all the artists once everybody comes together. This is one big old thing that I'm doing. I'm rebuilding. I'm rebuilding my brand. I'm rebuilding everything. Everything is being at a rebuilding stage. And I am happy and glad to say that in 2026 is a lot of activities and projects that will be happening. And this is my no days off zone. I know y'all been hearing me keep saying this. Me and Chanel, we definitely got this show coming, and it will be available this year. And this is not nothing I'm just saying. No, I am saying this because it's a lot of stuff that's been on hold. It's been on pause, but I get it. We all got personal lives and we all got stuff we gotta do to remain the personal lives that we have. So on that note, I'm pretty much glad that we can all, figure a lot of stuff out, come up with a lot of ideas, build the game the way that it should be built, get back into this whole thing of what it is, and let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, I'm gonna share this song with y'all because this song means a lot, and I just want to bring this one because it's the most played one, not only on YouTube, but the highest played one on TikTok right now. So, best response off of both. You know what I'm saying? Will I make this a single? I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't even finished working on more songs on the album yet to say that, hey, this is going to be the single. But if TikTok tell me to do it, I'm going to do it. If YouTube or Jingle Radio tell me to do it, I'm going to do it. If SoundCloud tell me to do it, I'm going to do it. Because it's not about what I want to bring out. It's about who's listening. You know what I'm saying? Who's listening? Y'all the ones that tell me. You tell me, I'm going to do it. And that's the most thing I could say. But it looked like TikTok is responding good. YouTube responding good. I haven't put it on any other platform yet. Other than here, it's gonna be on here for y'all to hear it. Y'all can come back on the show and hear it many times y'all want to hear it. And that's why I'm sharing it with y'all on the last episode. So I definitely want y'all to enjoy this. I'm gonna get over to it, and I'm gonna go from here, and I'm gonna play. So let's get into it. You feel me? Alright, let's go. Loss come with pain, hurt. I'm just crying, I'm in and out of my sleep. Every night that I roll over, wishing you were still there because I really miss you. I miss them hugs, I miss them kisses every day. I miss the love that me and you had, yeah. It's just a little crazy because I don't have you. Just missing you every day cause I don't have you. It's been a lot, I feel like I don't know what to do. I'm trying to move another direction, but I think that I'm gonna be okay. But I still miss you every day is just enough to have me go crazy for a second. Bring my mind back to the whole days that when we met back in '06. That was the time when I had you and you stayed on my mind. I just miss them days that we had. Now it's 20 years later, man, this is sad that you had to go and cancer really had you. Girl, I really miss you. All the pain, all them tears, now they gone. Now I wake up, got with more tears. I cry them healing tears. Now I know that it's just something that's gonna be bringing my mind. Forget my years to come as they go. But I know that these still no tears won't go. And I just wish you was here. I wish I could still have you by my side. Real pain, real hurt, so deep as they hurt as I cry. These tears every day they gon' mind. And every my mind. I wish you was here, wish you never passed. This is another year, and yo, 20 years later. Alright, y'all, so that was Pain Hurts Deep. You know what I mean? So, I'm happy to like really share this song with y'all, man. I mean, this definitely means a lot. And most definitely appreciate it, you know, and it's definitely good to do music. You know, music always been my derby. Always. And me being in the studio again, it like bring back a lot of good things. You know, just to me, like always been my favorite thing to do. You know, but when I retired for a reason. You know, the game changed. You know, music changed. You know, and trying to push yourself to do this new style of music is not organic. So I felt like the game was another way of a different crowd. But I know as an artist, you got a certain audience that you have that will still, you know, listen to what you have. So you don't change for every different style of audience. Different audience got their own way of what they listen to and what they like. So, I'm not doing this to try to push myself a little further out there. I just want to share music, and I just want to basically take it back to storytelling, real hip hop. So big up to all the hip hop heads. You know what I'm saying? We real hip hop heads around here. You know, and we could take it back to when hip hop was real. You know, I go back 30 years of doing this. You know, and I go back to, you know, 20 years of the new style that was originally made by me, which is though my original style kicked off in 2001, the style that I got now. So, you know, 2016 was the year that I decided to, you know, put it all away. You know what I mean? So, you know, we here now. We here. So, all right, y'all. I'm getting ready to close out. I'm getting ready to finish this show. I'm getting ready to finish this episode. And I thank y'all for taking the time out to listen. I thank y'all for taking the time out to, you know, come through. You know what I mean? You know, we got y'all. We got y'all. So season 7 is right behind this. Season 7 will be definitely on its way. We will resume season 6 into season 7. But guess what, y'all? Y'all know how I do. Somewhere within season 7, y'all gonna get the feel of what season 7 really is. But I gotta finish some things, and I gotta do it how I'm gonna do it so I could get it going. And SK1, the SK1 show will come back as season 2, and it will be done the way that season 2 of the SK1 show is supposed to be. And yeah, expect that one though. We gonna do a lot with that one. Expect it. You know, we gonna do a lot with the SK1 news show, but expect season 7 to be something to look into. You know, as far as what's going on with it, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background right now. So we gonna continue it. Big up, big up, big up. And Pie God, definitely, we definitely gotta do this. I keep saying it, but you know what? No days off. No days off. So I'm back. I said I was back the last time, but I got internet issues, you know, but I'm not going to let it stop me from making these shows. And then I had a lot of other stuff going too in between time. The holidays is over with. You know, we back in the business. You know, making it happen is definitely forming podcasts and forming artists, you know, independent business standing on top, you know what I'm saying? And this is where we at, you know. So y'all know I haven't did any new merch, no new merch in the store. Website is down right now. You know, I gotta update the website. I gotta do a lot over on that website. I gotta send shows over from the SK1 show, and I gotta send shows over from SK1 News over to there because I haven't even update no new episodes over there. So we working. Get ready for the new merch though. We gonna work on the new merch. Since season 7 get ready come, we get ready to work on the new merch. So big up, big up, big up, you know, and we in this. We in this. So I thank each and every one for checking out this season right here. A very short season with a very tragic year. A very short season with a very tragic year. And, you know. So on that note, I appreciate y'all for checking out the SK1 News show. And yeah, be on the lookout. You know, we're gonna work on that season of 7.